areas that, we'll use that for example, you know, that she's not that compassionate at times, I want you to stop and look at times where you're not compassionate. Because the only reason these things just get us is because we don't have self-acceptance in the areas that we do that ourselves. And I'm not saying, and I would never say you're not a compassionate person. You are very compassionate. And I'm sure there's times when someone's, well, for me, I'll talk. When I'm a very compassionate person, but when someone cuts me off in the freeway or turns right in front of me and then they drive 2 miles an hour, my compassion is nowhere to be found. I do say, I hope they're really old. Because if they're really old, I can handle this. And I'll drive past and I'll see them not old. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And you're a man on top of it, and you're, So there are areas that I have learned to embrace those areas where I'm not compassionate. And that's what that course is all about. But until you take that course, Freedom to Be, there's just something like that. Look in those areas where you're not compassionate and embrace them and be okay with them. Choose to be compassionate. I get to choose when I'm such a generous person. And when someone once said, are you greedy? I'm like, no, I'm not greedy. And then they say, whoa, you said that rather quickly. Take a moment and look in the areas where you might be greedy. And I started looking at these places. I'm like, oh. And it's certainly not to say I was a greedy person, but it was just to help me be more okay with being greedy in those areas that choose to be greedy. Because then when I see greedy people, it doesn't affect me as bad. Because I have more self-acceptance. The problem with us taking so many courses in our lifetime is we've become very self-aware. That's why I love this one class, Freedom to Be, because it allows us to, because here we are so but our self-acceptance around our self-awareness. Because you know when you become more aware, you get to be more aware of every part of you, not just all the beautiful parts of you, right? And this course allows the self-acceptance to move up, so it gets closer to the self-awareness. And it's a great match because then you get to not get so heated when your kids do things that are only bringing up your own stuff.
I think you touched on
the thing is, it's great to look at our stuff and work on our stuff and celebrate our kids. But what I'm saying, and maybe you're doing this, so I just want to be clear with it, is I want you to celebrate the parts when you're not. Like, be okay when you want to be greedy. Be okay when you're not really being compassionate. Be okay when you're selfish or you're rude to someone in those moments. It doesn't mean that's who you are, but it's about having self-acceptance in those, because we cannot not do that and be a human being unless we're Gandhi or Mother Teresa, and that's quite a stretch. Like, really, are any of you not selfish? Because you have to have selfishness in you, otherwise you would be the Mother Teresa and we'd all be bowing at you and just being awe of you. We're not in awe of any of us. So we all have that selfish piece in us still. But I'm saying celebrate that selfishness in us. Embrace it at least. You don't have to celebrate it, but embrace it so that you have more freedom to choose in those moments if you want to be selfish or not. More often than not, you're going to pick, I'd rather be more generous. But sometimes you're like, hey, no, I don't feel like being generous today. I'm going to be greedy or I'm going to be selfish right now in this moment. But be okay with that.
Too, right?
But to be okay, even though I am kind, in your brain, I really don't want to be doing that. Like, that, my part is be okay with even though you're acting your kindness, which is great. But be okay too that you weren't like, haha, let me help you with your suitcase.
Right.
Like, be okay with that part. Like, because that's the part.
And the whole acceptance piece, right?
And you can work on it, because that was part of that whole mission or personal mission statement we did last week. It's not that you're there yet, it's just it's something you want to work on. But what I'm saying is don't beat yourself up in the times that you're not.
Is it all tied to, though, the whole aspect of making mistakes, being forgiving, perfectionism, that whole thing to me seems so tied, right?
Well, yeah, because it's all about us not being okay making mistakes. It's not, we think we're supposed to be this certain way and not yell at our kids or not get mad when they pee in the bathtubs. And, that'd be great. And I'm just saying, just take a little bit of heat off of it, and know that they just made mistakes. And it's like that whole thing about Jonas Salk and Thomas Edison. I mean, these guys that really much changed our world. They only did it because they were okay making mistakes. Neither of those guys, and I don't think there's anyone who's had a huge impact on our lives, did something the very first time. They just had, their mindset was set that it's okay to make mistakes, that we get to learn from them, we get to, And instead of beating ourselves up when we blow it, turn it, it's like, what can I learn from that? You know, what can I learn about that lady on the airplane, and, you know, me not wanting to do something? Where was that was oh, I know why. Because I slept 4 hours last night. And my whole idea was to get on the air. I had this thought I was going to get on the airplane and sleep. And I've just now become, you know, the chauffeur of the airport right here, the airplane, whatever it is, you know. But then like, oh, no wonder I'm a little, Now, do I want to choose to stay here, or do I want to just get through that, look and focus on my mission statement and see if I can switch it? But that's like almost becoming an alchemist. A true alchemist is someone who can take energy from here and bring it up here, rather than the stuff's going on here. Oftentimes we just drop to that level of whatever it is. Your kids, they're a perfect place for you guys to practice your alchemy. You know, can you stay here even when your kids are down here? Can you bring them up here? You know, rather than us dropping down. That's why the timeout is for us and not them.
Yeah.
Okay.